Hi guys, hope you're all well. Hope you can sort of see me and everything okay here. Let me just move this in a bit closer, excuse my belly. So I wanted to do a very quick little video today and just talk to you about my new book because I've now got my copies of this book, which is Stranger in This World. So I'll just show you this here. Okay. And this book is really, I can't tell you, this is really quite, it's quite an experience, this book, because it's my life, okay, right from the start of my timeline. So from my younger days, all through kind of school, college, mid-20s, right up until the present day, really. And it's very much a book of truth. And I think this is what's very scary when you write a book of this kind, because you're not telling a story as such. You're telling, you are telling your life, okay? Stranger in This World is very much about my spiritual awakening. So it kind of covers about when I was kind of young, some of the spiritual experiences that I had. And didn't really understand at the time and possibly struggled to make sense of really. It talks about me finding my sexuality, so it's very much about a physical book as well, from practical everyday stuff that I went through. It talks about my time in the corporate world. It talks about my time as a Cher drag queen impersonator, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's a lot that's in this book, and I just feel so excited to be able to share it with you, really, because, like I say, it's definitely a book of truth. Um, Sorry, I keep saying ugh, I don't really know what else to say really. I want to talk about the cover actually briefly to you. So the artwork there has been done by the beautiful Heather Stark, and she has a Facebook page which is Witchbound. It is in the book, the link at the back. Do check this out. And this really tells the story, the artwork on this, because we've got what you can see here. We've got my little dog Oscar there. And Oscar's not actually featured in this book, but he will be in the next book. Okay, but this talks about my share days here, my corporate world here, and then leaving all that behind and awakening to my true spiritual self with my beautiful broomstick and my purple cloak. And the scene is set in Glastonbury Tour. Glastonbury isn't actually relevant in this particular book, but it has played a part, Glastonbury, in my world, from quite a young age actually. So I will talk more about that in the next book. But it sets the tone, and I just love the artwork. I'm so pleased with it, and it's just lush. It's a very mystical looking book. This book also very much covers my shadow side. So there's some amazing adventures in here, some really good times, but my world hasn't always been great, and it does talk and it does cover quite a lot of darkness in this book as well. So this really is why I wanted the cover to be quite dark looking and mystical. I'll show you the back of it there as well, because this really, there's a lot of shadow stuff in this book, and I've had to go through that to get to the stage I'm at now with my life, with my spiritual world. If I hadn't have gone through those experiences, I definitely wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing now. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's already purchased this book, because I've had some amazing feedback from you. It's really touched me because this has been in production for well over 2 years, and it's one of those books I've started, I've stopped, different things have happened, I've had to walk away from it, come back to it. And it's been very much a personal healing journey as well, because a lot of stuff that I talk about in this book, um, I actually felt at the time that I'd made my peace with it, and it wasn't until I was writing stuff down it triggered some emotions that I didn't actually realise were still dormant and still there. And the great thing and the lovely thing with healing is we're always healing something, can't we? But it's a bit like that onion. We peel back another layer, a deeper layer, and we expose, a deeper rooted issue that we're able to let go of. So this has definitely been a healing experience as well. And the reason it's taken 2 years is I've had to walk away from it quite a lot, because there have been times when I thought, oh, that's rubbish, I can't put that in there, that's no good. I've really questioned what to put in this book, but in the end, it's pieced itself together. And it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Each chapter is a piece of jigsaw, and at the end, it reveals a lovely picture. That's the aim of the book, anyway. And from the people that have already purchased it, they've sort of said that that's how they've experienced and felt it to be. So that's lush, and that's really lovely. What else do I want to talk about with this book with you? Um, the great thing with this book, which is different to Timeless Magic, because it's very important to keep these as two separate projects. Timeless Magic is a very practical book. So the spells in there, even though it's personal experiences, there's spells you can do and there's lots of learning. This book is more a book of truth, so it's just experience. And if you take a lesson and if you take something positive from it, for me, that's an additional bonus, because I wanted, when I wrote this book, for someone to take something from it. And the people that have already read it and left reviews and comments have said they've loved it and they've learnt something from it, that they can apply in their personal world, which for me is definitely a bonus because that's what I wanted it to have, key messages within the main sort of subject matter itself. What I love with this book, something a bit different that I've done, I've added some photos, not to every chapter, but to some of the chapters. So let me just see if I can find a decent photo that's in here, for example. Let me just have a look. So, I'm trying to find a nice one. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so this is one that's in there, for instance. And that's a chapter from my driving day. So I talk about when I learned to drive, and it will make sense to why that's in there, because you might think, well, that's a bit random. So there's lovely pictures, and there's just little kind of quotations, little things, captions, sorry, underneath, which is just really nice. Just to make it more personal and just to make it more my own energy. Going back to the reason it's taken over 2 years, so much has happened in between. I've been busy working for Spirit, but also lots of practical things have happened. Like, obviously, I got married last year, so that took up a massive chunk of my time organising my wedding, so I wasn't able to dedicate as much time as I needed to on the book. And also, prior to that, we had a lot of stuff going on with my little dog Oscar, with his own health. So this had to go on hold for a time. Obviously, I moved from Westbury to Martok, and there was a massive gap in between where I just couldn't even look at this book, let alone dedicate any time to it. So that's why it's taken longer than I would have liked to have got it out there. But I'm a firm believer everything happens at the right time, and 2019 is definitely the right time to launch this and to share it with you guys. So yeah, it's what I also love with this book. Really is that hopefully you'll see from it, I'm just an ordinary person living an alternative lifestyle. I don't have any special magical powers as such. I'm not like Superman, because some people, I think, when they have readings with me and everything else, they forget who the channeler is, and it's all coming from Spirit direct. It's not coming from me personally, it's from Spirit. They're the ones running the show. I'm just the voice box. And I think sometimes people put these unrealistic expectations of what they think as a reader I'm going to be able to do for them. So I think this book is quite good for grounding everyone's energy, really, and seeing that I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm just normal. I just, go to work. This is my work, obviously. Come home. I have time with my family. Hopefully people will see that I am just me, because I do think sometimes unintentionally, when you work in the public eye, people put an unrealistic amount of expectation on you, and that can be quite scary to deliver, because it's almost like they're transferring their demands onto you, and it's not me saying I can do all of this stuff, it's a lot of the time other people, you know. So hopefully you'll see as well that in this book I've failed. There's been things I've actually messed up on. That's in this book. So for anyone that thinks, oh, Mitch is perfect, definitely not. And there's, I talk about my downfalls in this book as well, but I also talk about what I've learned from those downfalls and how they've made me stronger and how I've applied those to my mediumship. And some people have said it's such a shame you had to go through some of those experiences, but I had to go through those experiences to fully dedicate to my spirit work now. And had I not had those, I would definitely not be in the place that I'm in now, working for spirit. So everything has a time and place, and there's a structure, there's a pattern to it. I'm a firm believer when we go through darkness, in varying degrees, whatever it might be, because we all have a different idea of what darkness is to us. It might not seem like it at the time, but there is always a reason for it. And I'm hoping that I've got that message across in this book. What else do I want to talk about? I do need to say a massive thank you to Sharon, who is one of my good friends and also the editor of both of my books, both Timeless Magic and this one, Stranger in this World. So massive thank you to her, because without Sharon's help, I'm going to be honest, these books would not even have made it this far, because because I'm dyslexic, my grammar, my way of spelling stuff, just the way I process things, it has had to be tweaked a little bit at times. And Sharon's been amazing. Nothing's been too much trouble. She's edited it accordingly, and she's kept it exactly as authentic as she can, just with the correct grammar and the correct spelling, which is what I love. And this is why I never wanted to go through like a publication house or anything like that, because the whole point of my books, all of my books, I want to keep them authentic to me, which she has been able to do. She hasn't said to change anything. She's literally kept it as authentic as possible. And so for that, I am eternally grateful. So massive thank you to Sharon for doing that. I think that's it really. There is another book that I'm currently, well, there's another couple of books I'm working on. So a lot of people have said who've read this book, oh, I want to know more. There will be a follow-up to this book. I haven't even started writing it yet, so I can't even tell you when that's going to be ready, but it will be hopefully later this year. I'm currently halfway through writing another book, which is completely different, and the new book that I'm starting on is called Spirit Magic, a practical guide to psychic and mediumship development. And it's almost like, I don't want to call it a dummies guide because that's really rude, but it's a very simple way of learning to connect and work with spirit. So it's very much from my level of understanding and how I teach. So it's a book of teaching really, and hopefully for everyone else to explore and make sense of the natural gifts that they will possess. So that's going to be out later this year. I'm still writing it at the moment, so I can't say when it will be out, but I'm looking forward to sharing that book with you, and that will be a completely separate project. So yeah, I think that's about it really. Massive thank you to everyone that's already purchased and left reviews on Amazon for Stranger in This World. If you would like to purchase a copy, I will hopefully have some in the near future that I'll be selling at fairs and various places. They will eventually be available to purchase at the Fragrantly Magical store in Clevedon, where my other book is available as well. But for now, it is just Amazon for this one. So I'll include the link below, so you can, if you want to take advantage and purchase a copy, you can do. The £12.50 on Amazon, delivered straight to your door. The timescale's quite quick. They're rolling them out pretty quick as well, which is lovely, So yeah, I think that's it really. But just wanted to say thank you so much for everyone that's purchased this book. This was always meant to be the first book, but sadly, well not sadly, but Timeless Magic just got channeled and I had to do that one first. And I think there's a reason for that, which you'll find out once you've read the book. It will make sense as to why. But yeah, but I'm so thrilled to be able to share Stranger in This World with you. And thank you for everyone that's supporting my work and has got behind this book and my other work in general. It does mean a lot to me, okay? And thank you for being able to continue the magic that Spirit allowed me to do, really. So yeah, Stranger in This World. Just hold it a bit closer so you can see it there. Thank you very much, guys. Wishing you all a magical week ahead. Much love for now. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.